I have explained something about dream children. But now we have to go through the dream children. See, some features I have explained, but even then, coming to the text, you should definitely read the text online. It is available. Remember, the title of the essay that you have to study is Dream Children, a Reverie. A reverie means a daydream. And so it is a daydream by the author. And when the essay begins, again the conversational tone is maintained. The widower author is sitting in his armchair. And there the daydreaming starts. He begins like this. Children are fond of knowing stories about their elders. And so here, today, the widower author, in front of him is sitting his two children, John and Alice. And author knows that they love to hear stories about the elders. And so, today he tells the children, today I will tell you the story of your great-grandmother, Mrs. Fields. And the children are happy. And there, Lamb tells the children that their great-grandmother, Mrs. Field, was a very religious and a lovable lady. Everybody in the neighborhood respected her. She can sing well. She was very religious. She knows the Psalms by heart. And again, she was a good dancer. She continued dancing till she was afflicted with the dreadful disease cancer. And then, when she died, plenty of people attended the funeral ceremony. That is, Lamb told the children that their great-grandmother, Mrs. Field, was loved and respected by everybody in the town. Lamb, when he was a child, used to spend time with the great-grandmother, Mrs. Field, because Mrs. Field was the caretaker of a big mansion owned by a rich man in the town. And so it was a big mansion with acres of land surrounding it. And Lamb, during his holidays, he used to go there, spend time with his grandmother, and he will be walking in and out of the house the whole day. He will be wandering around the house. There are plenty of fruits and flowers there, but he will never pluck any of them. But he was very much fond of living in that big mansion during the holidays. And Lamb, while he tells about the grandmother, he describes the reaction shown by John and Alice. That is, John and Alice, they were very much interested in hearing the story of their grandmother. Then Lamb told the children that in that big mansion there were the ghosts of two children. But Mrs. Field had told Lamb that she is not at all afraid of them. She had seen them walking up and down the staircase, but she is sure that these innocent children will never harm him, even though they are ghosts. But when John heard about it, he was a bit frightened, but he looked straight at the face of Lamb, eyes wide open, pretending that he is not at all afraid. And then these are the humorous touches. And Alice spreads her hand. She also is very happy to hear this story. And then Lamb told the children that the grandmother was very loving and she is a very respectable lady. Everybody loved and respected her. And she loved all her grandchildren, but she had a special love for Lamb's brother John Lamb. I have hinted to John Lamb earlier. His father's name also is John Lamb. We can call him John Lamb Sr. And so here the grandmother's pet is John Lamb Jr. That is the brother of Charles Lamb. And then Lamb goes on explaining about his brother. He says that his brother was very handsome, very intelligent. He knows riding well, and he used to put the other on the horseback when he was lame. And so the picture that he gives of John Lamb is very good. That is, he is very loving, very understanding, sympathetic, and so on. But I told you, in reality, his brother John is very selfish and he has no regard for his family members. But Lamb presents him as an ideal brother. And then he explains the death of his brother. And even he explained how his limbs were amputated in the last days of his life. But when he started narrating that, the children became very sad. Actually, all throughout the story, the children will become a bit distracted, like the children are. And then Lamb will look at them and they will suddenly become obedient. Their reactions are all very, very interesting. Like while Lamb is narrating the story, John will be taking a bunch of grapes from the plate. When the father notices that, he will be putting it back. And all these humorous scenes, I told you about the blending of humor and pathos. Here is a good example. The reaction of the children adds to the humor of the essay. And so, Lamb is narrating the last days of his brother John. But now the children are very sad and they started crying. And they told their father not to tell the story of the uncle. And so, the author stopped his story of John. And then he asked the kids, then what story do you want to hear? And the children told the father that they wanted to hear about their dead mother, Alice Winterton. That is the name given in the essay. Actually, she is Anne Simmons, with whom Lamb was in love for a long period of 7 years. But when it was the duty of Lamb to take care of his abnormal sister, Mary, Anne Simmons married another man by name Barton. And so now Lamb started telling the story of their mother, dead mother, Alice Winterton. That is the name that is given in the essay. Actually, it is Anne Simmons. And Lamb described in detail the years of their love, how they spent time together, loving each other and all. And the children are interested in it. And then again, Lamb now, suddenly, he becomes very emotional. For the time being, for a few seconds, he doesn't watch the expression on the faces of the children. Then suddenly, he heard a voice telling him, "We are not your children, And we are not the children of Alice. Children of Alice call Bartum their father. We are only a projection of your dream. And Lamb looks at the side where the children were sitting, and there were no children at all. Now Lamb realizes that it was only his daydream. He imagined that he is a widower talking to his kids about their great-grandmother, uncle, and finally their mother, Alice Winterton. But now he realizes that there are no children sitting in front of him. Because John and Alice doesn't live at all in this earth. They are his dream children. He imagined that he hears a voice telling him that we are not your children. We are not the children of Alice. Children of Alice call Bartum their father. That is, Alice is having a settled life with the other man. But Lamb is still a bachelor. And so he humorously says that now John and Alice, the children, they are only two souls waiting on the side of River Lethe, the river of forgetfulness in the underworld. That is a Greek allusion comes there. Belief that the soul of a dead man has to go through River Lethe in order to forget all the past events. All the past memories will be erased out. And so the souls are waiting on the banks of the River Lethe, and the souls of John and Alice are also waiting there. And now Lamb gets up from this imaginary world, and he realizes that he is still lying in his armchair. And Bridget was by his side. Who is Bridget? Actually, it is his sister Mary. He realizes that only he and his sister, they are there in the place. No children, nobody at all. And this is the essay, Dream Children. You should go through the essay. I told you it is available online. You will understand the essay better when you read it. And then I will give you some PDF PowerPoint presentation in the coming sessions. But I hope that you got a general idea of Charles Lamb. Again, Charles Lamb as an essayist, and how he contributed to the Romantic revival of the early 19th century. And you will see how his essays are written in a personal style, blending fantasy and fact together, blending humor and pathos together. And so we will stop for the time being, and we will continue in the next class. Thank you.